Welcome to another special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Joining us in the studio today, we have Robin Berno. She's the pretty one. And then we have, not that Dave Pinkerton's not pretty, but Robin's just a bit prettier. They were with First Capital Rotary here to talk about their annual Fairway for Friends golf outing that's coming up on May the 16th. Our interview today is brought to you by Adena Health. Back with Robin and Dave right after this.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
All right, David, we're going to talk about the golf outing. This is how many years now for the golf outing?
So I think it's our fifth. Fourth or fifth.
In succession?
Yes.
COVID interrupted so many of, you can't say annual so much anymore because you skipped a year or whatever, but we didn't miss apparently for that.
Yeah. So, we've put on this golf outing. I think it was done the first year that I was president. And then Robin took the reins the next 2 or 3 years, and now we're doing a co-chair. And so it just takes a lot of work. But with us together, we're a pretty good team.
First Capital, you guys do so many great things in the community, but what do these proceeds go for?
The proceeds from all of our events they all go back into the community. Everything that we raise, it's given back to the community, to several different organizations that, whether it's for food for kids, clothing for kids, the library. We also help the Mighty Museum. We have dollars that go to the Pioneer School. So that we have a lot of different grants that we do in the fall of the year.
Yeah, and we also, when we started the Buck 50, we were one of the main, actually we were the largest sponsor for the Buck 50, and kind of gave Dave Huggins a kickstart when he started. And what he's done today, it's just blown up. And but we still continue to support Dave through these grants.
I don't know if you heard Dave's interview with Dan earlier in the week. They've hit the $1 million mark of all the years they've been doing this, and you guys got it started.
Yes. So, and I actually sent Dave a message congratulating him for that. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. What are the particulars as far as teams that want to get into the tournament or the outing?
Well, the outing is going to be on May 16th. Our registration will start at 9 o'clock with a shotgun start at 10. It is going to be held this year at the Crown Hill Golf Club. We have posts on Facebook. You can get on there, and we have we can't do the form on there, but we do have information on there, who to get a hold of, who to contact. You can contact Dave or myself. We have our email addresses. So it's really pretty easy. Anyone who is in First Capital Rotary can help them get registered or sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Do individuals get to play, or do you have to have a team? So
it's a 4-man scramble. Sometimes everybody can't get 4 guys, so we'll get a couple stragglers that are on their own, and we'll put them with somebody, and so they can play. And we've done that several times. It's mostly it's been the same sort of group of people each year. But we do have room for more teams, a couple more teams, and we'd like to pick those up.
Is there a cutoff as far as date and the number of teams you can take?
Oh, that's a good committee question.
This isn't the committee?
We would love to get to 30 teams. If we got to 30 teams, that'd be fantastic. We would cut it off at that because anyone who's played in these golf tournaments, when you have a lot of teams, it does make it for a long day, but it's also very fun.
Yes.
As far as cutoff time, I think we have May 10th or something like that. But if people show up day of and they want to play, we'll find a place for them.
Yeah. And again, if you missed it at the outset, this year's outing is going to be at Crown Hill up in Williamsport, or just outside of Williamsport, because of the work that's being done at JC's. You couldn't do it there this year.
Yeah, that's correct.
Correct. And another cool thing, by us going to Pickaway County, we're also able to bring in our Pickaway County Rotary clubs.
Neat.
And I think we've already got a couple teams from them. So we're looking forward to have them join us this year as well.
Does First Capital have other events that they coordinate with other counties or other clubs like that?
Not necessarily with other clubs. We do some things with the Noon Club, where they have the Christmas, the symphony at the college, and we've done the ushering and supported them in their cause.
Yeah. How many years has First Capital Rotary been around?
So just a couple years ago, we actually, when I was president, we did our 30th year. And we celebrated the founders, and we have a few of those guys left. The Godfather, John Lodge, and a few others. And so it's been at least 32 years, 33 years now.
You know, the crazy thing about this, David, I'm old enough, I can remember when that happened.
Yeah.
When they started it, and I think we had people on the radio at that time talking about it. So when you've been around a while, you see a lot of things, and then you think, "Wow, has that been 30 years?
Why haven't you been there?"
Well, in the morning when you meet, I was usually on the radio, usually at work. Now I sleep in a little bit in the morning. How long have you been a member, Robin?
I have been a member 3 or 4 years.
It's been more than that because we played golf, and so you were.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. So Dave said, "Hey, Robin, why don't you be a Rotary member?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll come to a meeting." So I went to a few meetings, and this year I'm going to be the president. So I think that he had this plan all along. He was doing his succession planning. So.
You know, people listening in on the radio have heard of Rotary. Give me a little bit of background on Rotary and how you can get involved.
Yeah, so we meet, like you said, every Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. You could come to our meetings, and then we'll have you come to 2 or 3. We'll have you get up and talk about yourself a little bit. And then typically we send out an email that says, "Hey, this person's joining, any objections?" And we've never had one. And then they join the club. And then we just put them to work, and then we put them to work. But we are a fun club.
Don't scare them away.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, we are a fun club. We do the first Thursdays events downtown. We can talk about that in a little bit. The golf outing. We do several community service projects, and every time we do those, we have fun. And people want to join that.
You don't have to be like a business manager or anything of that nature?
No, and I actually made a couple notes here. We've got leaders of different organizations. We've got managers. We've got workers. We've got office people.
We've got retired people.
Retirees. We've got government people. We've got bankers. Anything, as long as you're in our community and want to participate and give back. If you're coming in and just, we want you to be the type of person that is willing to work and want to give back.
Mm-hmm. The golf outing, that's just one, Robin, of the things that you said that you were doing. What are some other things that I think you ran through a few of those things for kids?
We as David said, we have our first Thursday as far as a fundraiser is concerned, but then we also do a special Santa project every year, and that is probably we're all in tears when we do it. It is so special. We go to the school. We take them, they give us their wish list, and we take them their own little bag of presents in. We have Santa Claus come, we have treats for them, and it is absolutely, like I said, we all leave in tears. It is just the most, it's just the most heartwarming thing that we do.
Yeah. And I know, unfortunately, maybe some of those kids, that may be the only Christmas they'll have.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Talking about our events, we do raise a lot of money, and so but every dime, literally every dime that we raise on all these events goes right back into our community, and so we support so many different. And Robin mentioned a few of those. We support so many different charities and organizations, but it does go back into our community. We had a grant request of $76,000, and we were only able to give out $22,000 last year. So. We keep growing, and we'll keep giving more.
The first Thursdays has been a real big hit. How many years has that been going on?
So there was a gentleman named Jim Wessling. He actually worked for me. I don't know if you remember Jim.
I do.
Jim passed away a couple of years ago in a motorcycle accident. But Jim came to me and said, "Hey, we're doing this up in Circleville." He worked for me at the time, and we should do this in Chillicothe. And that's where it took off. And I think that's been at least 16, 17 years ago, something like that. And I don't know that we've been doing First Thursdays that long, but when he worked for me, that's that time period. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I think I got to come down for the pizza contest one year, and I got to be a judge.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the best jobs I've ever had.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Bob Neal was with me that day, and I don't know if Dan Ramey was the third person. I think he was.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was a great gig. I'd like to get that one back sometime.
And we've evolved over the years.
Yeah.
So this year, on that first Thursdays, we're doing the food trucks, and so that's been a real nice added feature that people enjoy.
Yeah. Anything else about the Fairway for Friends on May 16th, or anything else about First Capital Rotary you want to touch on?
Well, you guys will not regret coming out for this golf outing. It's the first one of the season, and we do that intentionally because everyone's got cabin fever. They're ready to get out there and play, so we are ready to have you come. And I'll let Dave talk about our presenting sponsor.
Conflict of interest.
Well, they're sponsoring this interview.
So Adena Health Systems, they came on board the very first year that we did the golf outing, and they've been on every year as our, what do we call them, the event sponsor. And so we can't thank Adena Health Systems and their support enough.
Yeah.
It's nice that we're able to do that because there's things that we, as an organization of Adena, we can't do some of these things for individuals, but we are giving back to somebody who is able to who has the same mission, vision, and values as what Adena does. So it feels good for everybody all around. So win-win.
Yep. And we do have other sponsorship opportunities, Eagle sponsorship, and then we have a Birdie sponsorship. And all this information is on our Facebook page, First Capital Rotary.
And you can sponsor just a tee or green for $100. So, we'd love to get 100 of those. That'd be wonderful. Yeah. And then we'll put those out on the golf course on the day of the outing.
Fantastic. Guys, I appreciate not only with First Capital Rotary, but I know you guys have been involved in other things in our community, and servants' hearts right here, represented by these two folks, and we appreciate all that you do and have done for our community.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right,
much.
Robin Berno and Dave Pinkerton with First Capital Rotary talking about their Fairway for Friends golf outing. That's, again, this year going to be up at Crown Hill Golf Course up in Pickaway County on May the 16th. Go to their website to get more information. Our interview today brought to you by Adena Health. I'm Mike Smith.